Thank you for staying with us. Members of the Senior Staff Association of Nigeria Universities, SSANU, and the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Associated Institutions, NASU, will embark on a nationwide protest today. The unrest stems from the government's failure to pay the 4 months' worth of withheld salaries that President Bola Tinubu had approved for the 4 university-based unions. The protest comes after the 2-week ultimatum issued by the Joint Action Committee of the two bodies expired last week, Thursday. The aggrieved unions have decided to protest across state chapters and organize a national protest in Abuja. Right, joining us in the studio is a former chairman, SSANU, UNILAG chapter, Comrade Olusegun Odusanwo. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Now, there are talks that the federal government failed to address the demands of the unions following their warning strike some months back. Perhaps you need to help us clear the air on what federal government didn't do exactly when it comes to this matter of clearing the backlog and perhaps every other agreement that was made with the government.
I just want to start by saying federal government cannot be given a pass mark in all of these things if we want to be sincere to ourselves. Because apart from this withheld salaries, a lot of things in the 2009 agreement, see how long that has been, are yet to be settled, especially with these 2 unions. And these 2 unions are the most respected. I think I will want to say that these 2 unions, SSANU and NASU, are the most, out of all the unions on campus, those that behave like parents, who doesn't think of going to any protest or going to any strike for any reasons at all until when government push them to the wall. Unlike other unions that can just wake up and say, we are going on strike, not minding the students that are on campus. But SSANU and NASU, before you hear them saying, we are going to protest, we are going on strike, a lot of water has passed under the bridge.
And so, if I understood you clearly, you have been pushed to the wall, and that's why you decided to go on the protest today. SSANU was paid 4 months, if I'm correct, but SSANU and NASU were not paid anything.
That is part of the insincerity on the part of our government. If you have about 4 children in the house, and you decided to treat 2 better and leave the remaining 2 because they are gentle, I want to say they are gentle. Not that SSANU and NASU cannot do the same thing other unions are doing. But because we are parents and all our children are on that campus everywhere in the country, we think of those students that are on campus everywhere before we say we are going on strike.
How did you know that government was being insincere? Because you're sounding like government was deliberate by just cutting off NASU, SSANU, and every other person that didn't get their salaries and just focused on those who could get their salaries. How did you know that was deliberate?
You know, we are talking about something like bullying in the schools, secondary school. You know, if you are able to bully your mates, they will fear you.
You're saying government is bullying?
Yes, by the other unions. And with their actions, government is threatening because they blackmail them. And don't forget one thing, most of them, their members, are in government. If they want to appoint people, they appoint people from those set of unions. And those are the people that we are advise the government.
So let's get you clearly. Are you saying these other unions advise the government otherwise? And that's what is affecting the NASU? Is that what you're saying? Because you're saying some of them are in government and they also advise government. Let's be clear.
Yes.
Who exactly is to blame on this matter?
They are part, some of their members are part of government. And if I am there also, and we want to make a policy and I'm to advise government, I know when I leave that place, I'm coming back to that place, to the campus again. What will you expect me to do? Because I know whatever I advise government to do for my members.
I expect you to be fair, to be just.
An average Nigerian, let me say Nigerian, because it's not everywhere in the world. An average Nigerian is selfish. I want us to accept that as a fact. And everybody has to prepare for his return home when you come back to your seat, because no matter how long you spend in the government office, you will still come back to your...
So let's speak in specific terms now. If you're pointing accusing fingers at an association, which exactly?
None of, there's none, we have 4. And the teaching staff, I'm talking about the teaching staffs now.
They have a name?
The professors on campus. And that is the academic staff. All other 3 unions are non-teaching staffs.
Okay.
So the teaching one, maybe government is thinking if you are not teaching. And those non-teaching, we that are non-teaching staffs, are the ones that we employ these people. Even before university start work at all, the non-teaching staff are to prepare the university, get the buildings ready, make everything ready, call for, put out an advert for the teaching staff to come, do the interview, bring them in. But by the time they come in, they say they are the king of the campus. And government treat them as such. Because by the time they go out and blackmail government, they know how to blackmail government very well. And government
That's
will just...
rubbing off on
SSANU, on the other unions.
But you know this is a weighty allegation because you haven't backed up this with evidence, though. So we must state that clearly.
I have used well over 30 years on campus, so I know what I'm talking about.
Right. It's because we do not like to just make a blanket statement without evidence to prove. So in case that these persons are asking questions and we need to have you back on set to defend all of this that you said, it means that you'll be available to us. There
won't be any problem because I know what I'm talking about. And right. The examples are on our tables now. When we tell people's salaries, and you will not call all those unions together. If government have nothing to hide, if you are inviting the unions, you should invite all of them together, discuss with all of them, and then decide. But now you will segregate, invite one, agree with them. When the others are now crying, we start shifting. You come this time, you come this time.
It seems you are speaking to something else about, apart from, withholding your salaries as regards the conditions of work. In the statement that was released earlier, it says it accused the federal government of alleged unfair treatment and discrimination. Help us understand. It seems you have some issues as regards the conditions of your work. Are you mentioning appointments in government? These issues, do they form some of the basis of this strike or this protest that you are having today?
No, this one particularly is on this retail salary because we observe government have agreed with a section of the unions on campus already. Why do you decide not to pay the other section?
So
it's very unfair.
Why bring up appointments in government and other factors as regards the protest?
No, it's just a fact or a point to support the claim that government is selective in their treatment. If you can appoint a professor, we have retired registrars, retired bursars. Some of them are PhD holders. Even a lot of our non-teaching staffs who are not even up to registrar or bursars, a lot of us have PhD. Like the recent a chairman that left the office of the SSANU chairman has a PhD. Our zonal chairman is a PhD holder. A lot of members of non-teaching staff. It's not that if you say you are non-teaching, you have a dull head.
Not at all.
So because we choose to be an administrator doesn't make us a fool. That is why government has to look at it again. If they want to make their appointment, they should appoint from those people that are qualified. I will not say from everybody now. Those people that are qualified. And I know a lot of non-teaching staffs are as well qualified for those appointments. This is a different
proposition you are bringing to the table as against the issue at hand, as it is. If I am hearing you correctly, that government should look beyond those they look at now and spread their tentacles to other persons who are non-teaching staffers of universities and all of it. That's a different proposition. But the issue itself is the matter of withheld salaries. Perhaps that's why I should also ask that. Is this matter also an issue, a grouse that this association has with government as it is and it needs to resolve? That's on the one hand. On the other hand, you said that perhaps ASU is able to blackmail government, because those are the words you use, blackmail government, and force the hand of government to meet its demands. And I'm wondering, how is it that NASU is not also looking at its strategy of tailoring its issues before government, such that it can force government to resolve its issues as well?
Like I said earlier, because most of their people are in that place.
You think it's just because of the people that are there in government? Are they the ones they engage? We're talking about the labor minister, the education minister. Are those their people as well?
Who is education minister?
Right.
Is he or she not an ASU member?
Right.
By the time he finishes from that place, he or she will go back to campus. And if he doesn't do well when he is there as a minister, where is he or she going back to?
How about the labor minister?
The labor minister, by the time in the caucus of the, it's just like an association now. If I'm a minister, you are there, my people are asking for something, I can come to you, even outside the meeting. Please, my member will be coming. Please, I want you to support me by the time it's just something that you can just, something that is happening everywhere. Please, support me when I present this thing.
So they don't see people as members of the university as well. You are alien to them. That's what you're saying.
That is the point. Just because you are not a teaching staff on campus, which is not supposed to be.
Right.
A lot of brilliant brains are on campus who are not teaching. People choose to be an administrator. Myself, a lot of the graduate assistants I employed as a faculty officer. A lot of them are professors now. They met me in the university. If I have chosen to be a lecturer, what stopped me from becoming a professor now?
So, some of these things you are saying, I will say it's based on emotions and feelings, what you, what will I call it, perceive on the way you are being treated. Let's focus on what you mentioned about the fact that SSANU, NASU, you are all parents. And so that's why we may, at this point, have to, come forward. What will be the immediate, will I call it, solution that the federal government will have to prefer right now to delay whatever is coming? You mentioned, the association has also mentioned that there will be a national protest in Abuja. That's July 18 or thereabouts. And so that's why we are talking about this issue now. What will be the immediate solution? Is it just payment of salaries that you're waiting for and no other option for negotiations or reconciliation?
I think the first thing the government should do is to treat everybody equal, especially on this withheld salary. We are going to the same market, both teaching and non-teaching staffs. So let them settle the non-teaching staff like they have done to our teaching counterpart. Let us be at on a page so that everybody will see that government is sincere. But the way we are looking at it now, the insincerity of government is clear to everybody. And it's very painful that government can behave.
Are you not bothered about what the implication of this protest will have on the school system, on students, on education? And, you know, we've had strikes in the past.
That is what has been keeping the non-teaching staff up to this time. Like I said, we think like a parents. And because we are not treated like our other counterparts are treated. Most of them have our children on campus here. None of us send their children outside this country to go and learn. So if we spoil the system, we are also spoiling our future. That is what has been keeping us, that has been delaying this protest and this strike all along. But you can't keep quiet for life, because if you don't have money, how do you pay for the tuition fees and other needs of your children? So now we have been pushed to wall. That is why you are hearing this.
Are you saying government has not been paying the salaries of the non-teaching staff? Not
salary. That withheld salary.
Yes. No, because you're saying something like if you do not have money. So it's sounding like the salaries in recent times had not been paid. But this what we are talking about is that of 2023, I believe.
They withheld salary. They withheld salary.
2022 withheld no work, no pay policy.
Yes.
So, but government has been delivering on every other thing aside that.
Like they are doing to the unions, they have paid their withheld salary.
We needed to clear that, because it's sounding like government has not been doing what is necessary in terms of salaries and every other thing.
So not on
benefits that is accrued to the non-teaching staff.
No.
Now, talk to us about the engagement between government and the unions. That's the NASU and SSANU. All the while, because there was a time, I think it was in March, that there was an engagement with government. What did government say exactly? And did you people raise concerns with regards to how you were being treated and how you felt government was handling this matter when you were engaging with government? And then there was another engagement, that was last week, Thursday. What was government's position? Did you also lay this at the table before government?
You know, the point I'm trying to put on the table here is that when you say you want to engage people, you need to engage them and provide results. You know, you can engage people just to play them around, just for people to see that actually you are also invited. If you invite me and you decide to treat me like a slave, in the system where other people are treated like kings, nobody will accept that.
Talk to us about this whole thing. Break it down. Because there are people who are watching, I would need to understand what exactly it is. Let's get to the nitty-gritties of the engagement. What did government say? What did they not say? And how is it that the unions are seeing insincerity in despite having engagement with government? What was the result that didn't happen? What did government say with regards to the results that the union wants?
You know, if at that meeting government have agreed that even give them 6 months, that this money will be paid in the next 6 months. You know, we have a destination that we are going.
Yes.
Nobody will talk about going on protests or going on. But now that we don't even know when.
Government did not say anything.
That is the insincerity I'm talking about. If you have given a solid, after that meeting, you have resolved that, okay, we agree. We are going to pay you so time. Or we are going to pay you this way, maybe instrumental, maybe that is a solid agreement. But if you don't have a solid agreement, more so that these two unions are looking at it that, what is happening? If you cannot agree with us and pay us like you have done to the other unions, what is wrong with us? What are we supposed to do that we are not doing? Are we not doing our duty the way you have given it to us, all those things, all those questions needed to be answered by government, which
was it asked at the meeting?
You made that question?
Yes, those questions.
If the non-teaching staff are not doing their work, they will not be left there.
No, I want to know if these questions that you have raised were also asked before government when the meeting was held, especially the just concluded one that, on Thursday.
Yes. Not that I was not at that meeting. It is the national that went for that meeting.
But of course, you have feedback.
It's a matter of reasoning.
Okay.
That is the question that we'll be asking ourselves. Are there anything that we're supposed to do that we have not been doing? And the answer I want to say is no. Because if you don't do it, you will not be there.
All right. So the union agreed that there will be a protest. They will be taking the protest to Abuja to help the federal government hear them more, so to speak. And it's saying that we have to go back to the table to discuss the next line of action. And that's where I want to, pick up my question from. Is there strike up in the conversation here? And if it is, what are the major services that will be affected on campus?
A lot of things will be affected. That's what I'm saying. That on campus, the only thing our sister union does is teaching and research. All the doctors, medical doctors on campus are non-teaching staff. All the engineers, they are non-teaching staff. A lot of things, a lot of work on campus. All the nurses that are in our medical centers, they are non-teaching staffs. There they say they are, they are non-academics. They call them non-academics. For somebody to go to university and become a medical doctor, you say it's non-academic. But the point I'm making is that all the works on campus are done by the non-teaching staff, except to go to the class and lecture and then do research, which is for the teaching staff.
Teaching staff.
So look
every other thing will be affected.
Yes, every other thing. If you want to talk about the security on campus, it is non-teaching staff.
Access to the lecture hall.
Everything, the porters that we give key to the lecture room is not teaching staff. If we decide not to work, the porters, they will keep the key where they are keeping. I don't think any teaching staff will know where they are keeping the key. The securities from the gate, if they abandon the work, a lot of things will happen. That is why most of the time when we go on strike, because like I said, we are thinking like a parents and the co-owner of that institution. When we want to go on serious strike, we used to leave some of our people, like security, because when we finish from the strike, we will still come back to that place. And that is where we earn our living. That you people, please, in the skeletal, please help us watch on this, the property of this place, because we don't think like others think.
So are you going to do that today? Or you are shutting down totally?
No. That is why governments have to do what they need to do quickly.
Okay, so help us understand what's happening today. What's your plan for today?
Our people are there already now. They have started assembling. So the current chairman will address everybody. The current chairman of the two unions. And that Congress, people will speak their mind, because it's not chairmen that have the Congress. It is the decision of everybody that the chairman will follow. If the chairman stands, when I was the chairman, people will talk. If they say, oh yeah, chairman, we are going to the vice chancellor, I have no option to move. There was a time when I was the chairman, we were having strike, and we went to the medical center. And my registrar was there. He used to be a friend, apart from when the struggle came. And the man said the doctors and nurses should commence work. And the doctors and nurses are behind me. And I told my registrar, Oga, this one is a strike, and these are my members. So they are not working. And the registrar was asking me, Chairman, do you know I am your boss? Yes, sir, you are my boss, sir. But these are my members.
And they have
and I have a point to lead them very well, the way they wanted. And that was how it went. So whatever the members want the chairman to do is what the chairman will do. Yes.
So the strike will happen all across Nigeria today.
The protest.
The protest, rather.
Yes.
Will happen across Nigeria today for government to send a message
to the government.
To the government. And hopefully the government will hear this message and get back to you before the 18th. Hopefully.
I hope so.
You're hoping as well.
Yes.
But are you confident that perhaps government will pay attention this time around? Because this is not the first time you're having a protest, having a strike.
I just pray they should listen this time, because it doesn't pay any government to be having protests and strike, especially at this period when everybody is hungry, everybody is not happy. So it will pay them to listen and then do the needful this time around.
And let's also talk about, we already know that the strike will, the protest, I beg your pardon, will begin today. Let's talk about how well you're being treated as regards the conditions of work, and what more expectations you're expecting apart from salaries, treatment, and all that in the school system.
Like I said, a lot of other things are under.
Discrimination.
Yes, discrimination. Yeah. That you go for this, you go for that. But because this is very, very painful, that is why a lot of things is being discussed.
But are you in any way engaging these other unions that is showing some level of discrimination? Is the union coming as one to say, we need to talk to you people? We do not like the way you look at us. Is there a conversation like that?
You know, at times, people are different. When I was the chairman, the ASU chairman then, we used to work together. Like, call the ASU chairman, I will be there, ASU chairman. Nobody say one union is lower. But, you know, some people have personality ego. They will say they cannot sit with you.
Right.
They cannot. For now, I don't think that relationship that I had when I was the chairman is there now.
Right. And you would encourage that they begin to look at that.
No, it's the best thing to do. It's the best thing to do for the system to develop, yes.
All right. We must thank you, former Chairman SSANU, Unilag Chapter, Comrade Olusegun Odusonwo. Right. Thank you so much for your time on the program.
Thank you.
All right. We take a break. When we